So the new patch just dropped for Last of Us Part 1, which is I guess sixth patch within a month of its release. So you can read out the whole patch note, whatever they fixed. So this is pretty like long read, so you can imagine how much things are wrong in this game and how much patches more required to make this game more stable. So with this patch, crashes are way lesser than before, but they are still there. One thing good I noticed is during building shaders, I didn't face any crash at all. It take uh, like half an hour or so to build shaders, but it won't crash. Previously, I guess it 15 or 20 times the game crashed just during building shaders. So building shaders, the game didn't crash, but it still crashed while being in the game, especially while I was loading a game, like when you press continue button and go into the game, continue button in the menu and go into the game. At that particular part my game crashes almost every time. So that's that. So also the point of this video is like now we are going to try the game with new patches on the same rig, RTX 3060 Ti paired with i3-12100F and 16 gigs of RAM as before, same as before, like the previous benchmark we did. So I have couple of videos open here. So this video will explain why the game have like really having difficulty to run smoothly on PC, like IGN explained in this video pretty well. So you can watch this video. I will drop the link in the description. Also, they showed how even on PS they had difficulty to run this game on 60 FPS locked. So they had the game was running on 40ish FPS even on PlayStation. So this game is really demanding. They made this game really demanding even on PS. So you can watch this. Other thing I want to notify is the guys who have 8 GB or lesser VRAM GPU, you will have 1% low FPS, really bad. You can see here 1% lows of the GPU which have 8 GB VRAM. I have 3060 Ti and they are really bad. Like stutters, the gameplay is full of stutters. During combat you can't even fight properly, so like it's kinda unplayable. On high, on ultra, I tried both. I tried the optimized setting. I will mention which optimized setting I am talking about. There are still stutters. That's because the VRAM limitation 3060 Ti I have. Also, according to the Steam survey, let me open the Steam survey, show you. So according to the Steam survey, most of the people have 8 GB VRAM. The same thing mentioned is in this video, I guess I saw somewhere. So most of the people around the globe have 8 GB VRAM GPUs right now. So that's why you are seeing like so many people complaining about the game, because 8 GB VRAM you can't run this game without stutters. Like even if you lower the setting, the visual quality will be so bad you won't be able to play this game with the visual quality you have in mind. Like it wouldn't be like medium textures are really bad in this game. You can check yourself. So as I already played this game in PS4, Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2, I already played that. So now I already watched the HBO series, so I already know the story. So what I wanted was to play this game on PC with keyboard and mouse with maxed out settings, and I thought I would be able to, but sadly I won't. So I would need a GPU with at least 12 gigs of VRAM to get the gameplay free of stutters. Also another thing here, most of the people have 3060 Ti, so 3060 Ti, even on 3060 Ti 1% lows aren't that bad, I guess. Where it is 3060 I couldn't find 30, here it is. So even on 3060 the 1% lows are not that bad. The average frame rate are less, but because it have 12 gigs of VRAM, so 1% lows aren't that bad. So like there won't be any stutters. With 8 GB VRAM GPU, you can see the stutters are there, like 1%. Those are terrible. Even on high here, even on high where it is 3060 Ti, 1% those are bad. Stutters, the game is full of stutters. On medium, the hardware unbox said you can run this game on medium. Like if you run this game on medium with 8 GB VRAM GPU, it will run fine. So I will try the medium, but I don't like the visual quality of the medium preset. To be honest, I don't like the texture and blurry texture. It have no sharpness and all. So medium seems a good option to run this game if you really want to play this game, but I won't play this game on medium. I want to play this game on max out settings, so I will upgrade then play on PC as I already know the story. So also the one thing I want to mention is I also face CPU bottleneck. This game is really high demanding over CPU, like it demands really high CPU. So you will also sometimes face CPU bottleneck with i3-12100F. So IGN also, I guess, mentioned that this game is more of a CPU bound when you go to 4K and above. On 1080p and 1440p, it is more of a GPU bound. I hope I am not stating it wrong or inversely. So that's the part. So the optimization I was talking about was this. Let me just bring it to the optimization part. These are the settings I used. I thought with these settings I will be able to play this game, as these settings preserve the visual quality I was looking for. But sadly stutters are there. I was not able to play this game during the rain scene. It was really bad. So one thing I changed here was like reflection, I guess. The guy told to reflections off or keep reflections on low, but let me show you here. If I find reflections are the most vital part of this game, I would say. Like reflections on the water, reflections on mirror and stuff. So yeah, here it is. So on low I didn't like. Even on medium the reflections were kind of blurry, so I changed it to ultra or high, but still even on off I didn't get any much of a gain. This settings are really high demanding. So from this guy's optimization I changed one thing. I keep this settings on high on ultra because of visual quality, as I told you. So other than that, all the settings are same as this guy. So let me show you the gameplay with this setting so you get the idea how much FPS you will get. Or FPS differ from scene to scene, but stutters are make the gameplay really worse. So yeah, let's get into the game and see. Also I will try medium preset. As I stated here, medium preset is good for 8 GB VRAM GPU. So I will try medium preset and this one, this optimized preset. So here we are in the game. As you can see, we are using RTX 3060 Ti with 1080p. Also frame rate cap is off, VSync is off, DLSS is on quality to minimize the VRAM issue. So everything is here. The graphic setting we are going to use first is the optimized settings I showed you, like in the video. Like I mentioned the video which showed the optimized setting, I'm using that. Also I just changed one settings here. The guy in the video recommended to keep it off as this cause GPU major blows, but I don't like it to be off as I like the reflections in this game, so I keep this on. Other than that, all the settings are the recommended one in the video. So let's get into the game and see. So here I have multiple scenes to show you guys how much FPS you will get and how this rig will perform. So in every scene the rig perform differently. So the scene where NPCs, too much NPCs are running, which that scene require too much of a CPU, so their CPU bottleneck happen. So the cause of stuttering is also the RAM. As I will start the game, the RAM usage will go up to 15 gigs. That's also the issue of that's also the thing which is causing stuttering. Also CPU bottleneck. So in this game with this rig, I am facing all kind of bottleneck like CPU bottleneck, RAM bottleneck, GPU bottleneck, all kind of bottleneck. So let's get into the first scene. This particular scene requires CPU more, like the scene is more CPU bound. So you will see uh, low power wattage of the GPU. That's because CPU is bottlenecking there. So let's load it. So here we are in the game. Just check the GPU usage and CPU usage. This particular scene have too much NPCs running around, so too much AI stuff is going on, so it is using 98% of the CPU while GPU is only using 50%. So this the CPU bottleneck. So i3-12100F isn't the good choice for this game, as we see here. Also 15 gigs of RAM is also isn't the good choice, so at least you need 24 gigs of RAM to run this game smoothly. So I guess you got the idea. You won't cross above 60 FPS in this particular scene. Also CPU bottleneck is really much there in this particular scene. So let's move to the next preset. If you have better CPU, so you will get above 60 FPS easily even with this GPU, even with RTX 3060 Ti. Although this particular scene doesn't have like too much of stuttering, that's because this CPU is restricting GPU from doing more work. So I hope you get what I want to say. So the next one is, I guess, more of a GPU bound. So let's load this one and see. So here we are in the next scene. This is the scene where we get to know about the walled city we live in. Just open a test, hurry up. So in this particular scene, as you can see, CPU usage is 99%, 100%. So this scene is also CPU bound. GPU usage, you can see, is only half of the GPU is using, getting used. The cars are driving around and all the NPC stuff. That's pushing CPU. RAM usage is lower in this particular scene. I felt a little stutter there. So you will feel stutter during combats and all, like sudden movements when sudden movements are happening. So above 60 FPS you will get in this particular scene. Also same as before, if you have like better CPU you will get 70ish FPS, as CPU is restricting the GPU here. The game is little stuttery. You can see the frame time graph. Poor girl. So yeah, as you can see, I guess you got the idea. Let's move to the next scene. You will see the same story in all the scenes, like CPU bottleneck happening. So the next scene we have is beyond the wall. Okay, let's load this one. So I chose this scene because this is an enclosed space. So in enclosed space you can see we are getting above 100, above 90 FPS. Here also CPU usage is 97%, same as before.
Our backpacks are still here from last time.
Some stutters are still there, but if here in this enclosed space you will get like really good FPS. It's because not too much stuff is going around. Also GPU usage here is 77-80%.
Joel,
Previously it
backpacks are over
was
here.
not going above 55% as I remember. So here GPU is using more with the CPU. CPU isn't restricting GPU that much like before. So CPU usage is same as before, like 90ish, but here also GPU usage is high, so you can see we are getting like above 100 FPS easily. So that's the thing I wanted to point out. So
A lot of
also
ammo.
You make your shots
some
count.
textures with medium texture I don't like. You can see the tin resting there, like texture on it is really blurry and stuff. That's why I don't
All right,
really
Texas. Boost me up.
like the medium textures. I will boost you up later, Tess. So let's get to the next scene. So let's get this particular scene. So here as you can see, CPU usage same in 90ish range, GPU usage is in 60ish range. So here also CPU is restricting the GPU. Okay, let's just skip the cinematics. But here RAM usage is high. Like previously RAM usage was under 15 gigs in previous two scenes. In this particular scene,
Follow me. Quickly.
RAM usage is above 15 gigs. So that's also the issue which is causing the stutters. Forget your signal test. I know how to deal with Fedra.
They're everywhere.
Okay, so in enclosed space again 40ish 14 gigs of RAM usage. So here you can see the frame time graph is really bad, so stutters are all in it. So here also stutters you saw. So that's the thing I wanted to point out, like during rain and demanding stuff you will find the stutter. That's because of RAM limitation and VRAM limitation we have. Also CPU is also restricting, so you get the idea. Let's move on to the next scene. Sorry, where it is, here it is. So we were on this. Let's try this one. So this particular scene have rain, but I chose this because this have like building and plants and stuff. So that's why I chose this one, like environment rich scene this is. So in this scene, like we will get below 50 FPS. For the most part of the game, you will stay below 60. In enclosed space, you will go above 60 with this rate. So here also GPU usage is
Yes, you
in
hear that?
60ish,
Yeah.
CPU usage again in
It's not pretty far
90ish,
away, though.
15 gigs of RAM, same old story.
For now. Come on.
So I guess you got the idea how much FPS you will get in this particular scene. I'm showing you different scenes so you get the
Over here.
proper idea, because every scene have like similar FPS but not same. They will be somewhat similar. Like in enclosed space you see we went above 100. So yeah, you got
Find
the
anything
idea.
over
Let's
there?
move to the next preset.
Keep looking.
So where it is. So this is the one I guess. So this is the last scene I am showing you guys. Here you can see the grill, like weird kind of
Like, it looks like it's shallow on the right side. Follow me.
anti-aliasing working there, but
What do you mean?
I know you guys are getting paid for this.
let's just
Um,
check the
Honestly.
water is kinda good I would say, or it is fine I guess. It's not that bad. actually, and in this particular scene we are getting above 60 fps, which is kinda missing, I guess. Like GPU usage, again, when GPU usage go above 80 we get the best fps, like above 60 fps. When GPU usage is under 50, when CPU is restricting or something is restricting GPU from performing, we get lower fps. So no doubt, with optimization setting you can play this game on this rig with good fps, like you will get playable fps. But the issue would be stutters, like, or to solve the stutters, first you have to increase the RAM, then VRAM. So these two things will remove the one stutters and increase the 1% and 0.1% lows. So 1% and 0.1% lows are the issue with this rig. Other than that, you can get pretty good FPS if you play around with the settings, use optimization setting and all that stuff. Also, I turned on the reflection settings. So if I turn the reflection settings off, so you will get 5 or 10%, I guess, more performance. So even we are going above 80 in this particular scene, which is kinda good, I guess. So textures are also good, as you can see here that they are not that bad. So yeah, I guess you got the idea. Here I felt the stutters. So stutters are there, so I already told you the solution for that. So now, as recommended by Hardware Unbox, we are going to check the FPS on medium if we get stutter free experience. So I played this game, so you will get like similar average FPS in the game, like as the optimization settings. So but your 1% and 0.1% lows will increase, so you will get way less stutters in while playing with medium settings. But with medium settings I don't really like the textures, but I played on an hour or two with medium settings, medium preset, with DLSS on quality. So I got way less stutters, like combat was like far better as in optimized settings. Like I was able to fight the zombies and enemies pretty easily. So yeah, so if you want no stutters while playing the game and want to sacrifice the visual quality, you can go to medium settings to run this game with like less stutters. The game still have stutters. It is still not stutter free. Micro stutters are there, stutters are there. So yeah, so on medium settings I will show you only one scene, so you will get the idea, like you will get the same average fps, but 1% low and 0.1% low would be different. So here it is medium. So here we are in the game. So as you can see, the textures are not that sharp, like you will feel the blurriness. Like here in the leaves you will you can check the blurriness. Like previously the written stuff was pretty clear, main building is blurred now, that's because medium textures. So it is also kinda blurry. Previously it was like clear. So you will get the similar kind of FPS, but frame time graph would be better with medium settings. So still 80 above FPS, so micro stutters are also there. So same old story, nothing else. So same CPU usage is up in 90ish, GPU usage is above 75. So same old story. Video is already too long. I tried to explain and tried everything in detail and cover everything in detail, so you get the better idea of everything. So peace out guys, I will just conclude all this. So to conclude all this, I would just say, like, the there are a couple of things working here to like worsen our experience in this game. The first thing is the RAM. As you can see, continuously this game use 15 gigs and above above RAM. So you will need at least like 24 gigs of RAM if you want a stutter free experience. This 16 gigs of RAM will give you like average FPS, like good average FPS, but stutters will kill it, like 1% and 1% loss will kill it. So first increase the RAM. Then the other reason is CPU bottleneck, as too much AI stuff going on in this game. So CPU will bottleneck in most of the scenes. So you will require more CPU, like in the all scenes we saw this game is using more CPU than GPU, and the scenes where it uses more GPU we get better FPS. So CPU is clearly restricting the GPU here, so better CPU is required if you want to like better average FPS CPU. But CPU upgrade will, I guess, will better the average FPS as GPU will perform on full potential. So the next thing would be the VRAM issue. Everyone is bragging about the VRAM issue, VRAM issue, VRAM issue. No one is talking about the RAM, 16 gigs of RAM or CPU bottleneck here. As like 12th generation CPU is struggling to give FPS here. So it's not just about the VRAM. You can easily maintain the VRAM issue with DLSS, like control the VRAM issue. Even on ultra preset, you can use DLSS on balance or quality, which will lower down the VRAM requirement to under 8 gigs. So you will have stutters because of 8 gigs of VRAM, but the major issue is RAM here, as most of people have 16 gigs of RAM. So first upgrade the RAM to 32 gigs or 24 gigs, whatever your budget recommend suggest. So first upgrade that, then upgrade the CPU, at least go i5 i7 I would say, or get the overclocked version like K version. Then comes the VRAM issue. So not just go like you throw in 3080 with i3 1200 or F or i5 2400 F and go like why my GPU or rig is not giving me stutter free experience. That's because you didn't upgrade the RAM and RAM enough. So yeah, so I concluded everything and tried to cover everything in detail. So peace out guys.